over 12 more inches we have lost in 2025, my friends. We have lost just an additional 4 inches in the waist. 4 inches. The pants that I was wearing before, these were my jeans. The jeans of 2025. And these are my jeans now. What? Welcome back, my friends. I am Cheryl, and this is my channel where I have been documenting all the inches, all the pounds, all of the weight loss for all of you for going on 2 years now. We are going to go through 2025, the highs, the lows, everything that happened. Sit back, relax, enjoy, my friends. So these are my current jeans or jeggings. Not really a jean gal, but I had purchased these and I actually did it with you guys on camera. These were Lucky's. They were Lucky brands. These were a 14 that I purchased at Marshall's. I took you guys along for that. It was like my first shopping trip in an actual store about a year ago or so. And they had cute little fringe at the bottom. I can't wear them. I swim in them. I do have a pair of jeans that are a size 10 that I will wear on occasion. Typically, if I wear them to work, my good friends there, 2 of them that have been on this journey with me, will often tell me, your pants are too big, don't wear them anymore. So that's weird. Does that mean I'm an 8? Like, I can't really even fathom that. So for now, I'm going to take the mediums. Some of these I actually wear small in, which is super, 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 super weird. That is all from my friends at Iuga. That was a big thing that happened in 2025. I partnered with Iuga. They are an active clothing brand, and their clothes are phenomenal. This is my favorite. This one here is my favorite sweatshirt. When I first got them, the brown was my favorite, but that one's way too big now. But this charcoal, I'm obsessed with. And then I have a lighter gray that's part of a set. I love that one as well. But this one is my all-time favorite. And these jeggings, I love. They have pockets. But this is not a sponsored video. That is just my current clothing situation. So I have gone over the past 2 years from a 2XL to a medium. My mom bought me 3 tops for Christmas. She called me from the store one day and she said, "What top are you wearing now?" Because even last year, I had been wearing clothes still so big for me that I don't think anybody really knew what was happening completely. And at this point, my mom knew that it was, 75 pounds. So I definitely wasn't an extra large even. So she called me she was at BJ's one day of all places. And she called me and she said, "So what size are you wearing now?" And I was like, "I guess a medium, but I'm not always comfortable in tight fitting things." So I was very concerned. She bought me 3 tops, a top that I actually wore. Oh, I have it over here. I wore it for Christmas Day. It's a medium. It's actually too big, but I will keep it for now. Please excuse my closet because I am going through it again because so much stuff is too big. But she bought me this top and it's a lot more oversized. Yeah, it's a medium. A lot more oversized than I thought. So I could have, I guess, worn that in a small. And then she got me this cute little sweater, like cardigan sweater. See the detail on it? So that's super cute. So I will wear that for work. I think that actually would go really cute with the jeggings with my brown boots. And then she bought me a green bomber jacket that I've worn every time I've left the house since. So I'm loving that. And that was, like I said, BJ's of all places. So that was cool. Yeah. Haven't bought off the rack in quite a while. So yeah, where are my notes for you guys? Hold on. Sorry. I was prepared, I swear. And my mom also bought me a microphone so I can talk to you guys a little bit better if I do happen to wander. And they are on the charger. So watch for that in 2026 because I will be giving you guys hopefully better quality videos. So let's just continue with everything that happened in 2025. So in 2024, I lost my first 56 pounds. That was huge to lose 50 pounds in a year, actually in 10 months. That was fantastic. In 2025, obviously, I had lost the first 50. I was, in a healthier weight. Where's my drink? Sorry. I know, guys, I'm everywhere today. But I have a lot going on, and I'm trying to get as much in for you guys as possible. So, in 2025, I lost an additional 21 to 23 pounds. That last couple of pounds has been up and down. Some days it's 23, 24. Some days it's 21, 22. So I have lost a little over another 20 pounds. And I know many people, and in the beginning I was kind of like, oh, I only lost 20 pounds. No, I kept off 56 pounds and I lost an additional 20 plus pounds. So I am actually really, really happy with that. If I lost 20 pounds in 2026, that would be unbelievable. That would put me in the 120s. I don't know what my body would look like at that point. I am concerned with loose skin, and I don't want to get to a point where that is gross because I'm not going to be having surgery. So I don't know. I am using my cavitation machine. So if you don't know, I will link those videos, but I have my cavitation machine and I have been doing that to try to tighten and firm up as much skin while I am continuing to lose as possible. And if you go and you watch those videos, you will see that it is helping. So I'm going to continue to do that because, like I said, I'm not doing any surgery anytime soon, but I am concerned with what will happen if I lost, like, say, an additional 30 pounds. That would put me like at 110 to 115. And I'm afraid of what the skin would look like. I don't even know if I could lose that much because some of it would probably still be skin. So I don't know. I'm not setting any goals or expectations right now. So in 2025, we lost 21 to 23, 24 pounds. And we lost many, many inches. So today is the 28th of December. So the 28th of December last year, my waist was 38 inches at that point. My waist right now is 34 inches. So I lost an additional 4 inches in my waist. My hips are always like the largest, like that lower belly portion. I was 43 inches in my hips in 2024. And right now my hips are at 40 and a half. So about 2 to 2.5 inches in my hips. That's where I still need to lose. And that's where I think exercise is going to be key. So we're working towards it. In my breast area, I started at 42 and a half. I am currently at about, where am I? I wrote it somewhere. 37 3/4. So we have lost, like 5 inches there as well. My legs, I've done about an inch on each leg in each area. So I'm thrilled. I'm happy. I have maintained all during the holidays, so that's great. Go check out my last weigh-in, check-in, taking my last shot of 2025 on Monday. I will link that down below. So I am thrilled. But on top of all of that, so much more has happened. I have made and developed this fantastic community of all of you, which has been nothing short of amazing. To have an outlet and to have a group of people who care about you and care what you're doing and are rooting for you every day is just unbelievable. So thank you all so very much. We hit over 5,000 subscribers on this channel, and I know that that's still minuscule in the big scheme of things, but to me, that was amazing. And I am so thrilled to have all of you here. I would love to do that again in 2026, get to 10,000. That would be, I can't even fathom that. I couldn't fathom 5,000. 10,000 is just insane to me, but I will take it. Let's go for it. If you are new here, go hit that subscribe button and help me achieve that next goal. Huge, amazing things happened. My CKD. So if you don't know, one of my main reasons for beginning Zepbound almost 2 years ago was the diagnosis of chronic kidney disease. And my grandmother passed away 25 years ago of kidney disease, kidney failure, actually. And it was devastating. She was my best friend. Taking her to dialysis 3 times a week, which was my job, absolutely sucked. I hated it. My son had to come with me. He was 3 at the time. And he remembers going. One thing I know for sure is I don't want to put my kids through that. My son already had to go through it with his great-grandmother. And it was awful. And I don't want to have to do that again. So I don't want my kids to have to do that. This was a huge wake-up call for me. My chronic kidney disease at my last appointment is basically null. It's stage 2, which is almost nothing. It's amazing. It's fantastic. My numbers in my labs are all great. My fatty liver disease is gone. I no longer have fatty liver disease, and I am no longer at cardiac risk. I am no longer obese. I am just moderately overweight at this point. I'm still overweight, but I don't recall the last time, I don't think ever in my adult life was I not obese. To be overweight, let me tell you, it's pretty awesome, especially for someone who's never been there before. So that has been amazing. I hit my first big kind of like unspoken goal, and that was to be under 150 pounds. I never in a million years thought that I would get to be 150 pounds. When I hit 145, I was actually thrilled, and I joke all the time and say that that's the weight that I always lied and said I was when I was probably 175 to 180. I was embarrassed at that point and always thought 145 was chubby, and that's what I would tell people that I was when asked. So that was all fantastic, amazing health things that happened over the course of 2025 that I am just extremely thrilled and grateful for. In other news, I started to enjoy shopping again. I go shopping. Typically I thrift, but I will occasionally buy something here or there, and I enjoy it, and I enjoy shopping, and I enjoy getting dressed, and I enjoy putting on makeup and doing my hair, and all of those things that I had really stopped enjoying for so long because my goal at that point was to just sink into the background and hide and not be noticed because I was so heavy. I didn't want anybody to be paying attention to me. So that has been awesome to start shopping again. I got a new car. With my smaller body, I went with a much smaller car. My husband does not like it, but I don't care. I love it. I went with the Chevy Trax. It's much smaller, compact, kind of like I am now. So that was awesome. My grandson Rowan turned 1, and having him in our lives has just been the greatest joy. He is the happiest, most animated, funny, sweetest little boy in the entire universe, and we just adore him. He had his first sleepover about a month or so ago, and his second last week. So I am just thrilled to be able to get on the floor and get down and play with him and run around with him and crawl around on my hands and knees. And one of his favorite things is to play chase around the island. And I can hide behind the island and do peekaboo with him. And he just thinks that that's the funniest thing in the world. So that has just been such an unbelievable gift every single day. I just adore this little sweet little angel so much. And I have been so excited to be able to share that with you guys. So thank you all for your love and support. For Rowan as well. I have come up with a couple of fantastic partners here on YouTube that, as you know, I've said Ayuga, they're linked in my description, and my Chway, which is my cavitation machine. They're also linked in my description. That has been fantastic partnerships that I have been able to partner with, and I have another very cool partnership that I'm extremely excited for coming in 2026. So watch for that. That is going to help me on a whole other level of this journey. Fingers crossed. So yeah, I'm excited for that, and I'm excited for your encouragement while I do that. I went on a hike. That was huge. I did take you guys along for some of that, but I will try to link all of these videos below. But that was on my vacation, our first full day, our second full day there. Myself, my daughter-in-law, Leah, my son's girlfriend, Riley, my coworker, and my cousin's little girl, Bella, went on over a 2-mile hike up into the Adirondack Mountains to an old abandoned castle. And I have pictures I'll put in here. We sweat from every part of our body. It was hard, but we did it. I am so excited, and I am so excited and looking forward to doing another hike in July. So that was awesome. I was so excited. I did kayaking. Kyler and I went to Sarasota. I don't think it's called National Park. I'll link it below if I think of it. And we hiked through there in August. I took my first ever girls trip. I am 53 now. It was for my 53rd birthday. Kyler and I went to Lake George. We stayed at a great place right on the lake. We go to Lake George and we go to upstate New York a lot. I don't remember ever staying on the lake before. Maybe when I was a child. I don't think so. I think we just stayed in the area, but we stayed on the lake at this great little place that we overlooked the lake. We watched the fireworks from the lake. I went in Lake George for the first time, unless, like I said, as a child, but my parents don't really remember. And Kyler and I went skydiving. And I wasn't scared. I wasn't nervous. A year ago, my son asked me to go, and I said, absolutely not. Like, I wouldn't even consider it. And that was because I was not afraid of heights, not afraid of falling. I was afraid that I would get strapped in and they would not be able to lift me off of the boat. And I know that might sound silly. I was 219 pounds, and obviously it holds more than that. There are grown men that probably weighed more than that. But in my head, what if my son and I got strapped in here and they couldn't lift me? Or how was I going to look strapped into this thing with all of this weight popping out in different places? And this embarrassment of it is really what kept me from doing it. Once I got past that and I lost the, 50, 60, 70 pounds or whatever it was back in August, Kyla wanted to do it. And I was like, well, I can't. I told my son that I wouldn't go. And I asked him, and he, at that point, no longer wanted to do it. I think now he's a little scared. But it was the most amazing experience. I absolutely loved it. Lake George and the Adirondacks obviously hold a huge part of my heart. I would not have done this on the ocean. I will tell you that. I would have only done it on a lake. Doing it on Lake George, one of my favorite places in the world, with one of my favorite people in the world, my best friend Kyla, it was the most unbelievable experience. I urge you, if you are on a lifestyle modification, change, any of this type of thing, and there's something that you've always thought about and something has held you back, and you have approached any of your goals, or your life has changed in any way, and this is something that you've still considered, I urge you to do it. I cannot tell you how freeing and exhilarating and how proud of myself I was to hike up a freaking mountain with some of the closest people in the world to me who were supporting me and encouraging me. It was amazing. I felt so good and so accomplished. And then to be able to kayak the lake with my New York bestie, Alicia, and just enjoy every minute of vacation was just, it was, again, such a gift, such a gift. Which brings me to Disney World in April. Again, I will link these videos, or just go check out my playlists. In April, we went to Disney World. We are a big Disney family. That was not even planned. Big Disney family. We usually go like every year and a half or so. In April, we went to Disney, and this is the first time in 5 or 7 years that I have gone to Disney and walked. I don't think I have walked Disney since 2014, 15, 16, probably 16, because I think in 2015 or 16 we went with all of the kids and I was okay. So maybe 17 or 18. So like 7 or 8 years I haven't gone and walked. I had to rent an ECV. I had an ankle reconstruction, and I had an ACL surgery, and I had packed on additional weight with both of those surgeries, and I couldn't walk. And I knew a large portion of the reason why, and why I wasn't recuperating, was because of the weight. Once I started to lose the weight, the recuperation continued in both my ankle and my knee. I'm old. I'm 53. My knees have had a heck of a time carrying around all of that weight for all of those years. And arthritis does run in the family. So the arthritis in my knee since the surgery is there, and it can be painful, but it's much more tolerable without the additional 75 pounds. Going to Disney World and having the freedom back to walk around where I wanted to go stop and do this or go over here, I cannot express to you. There was a day I was actually in tears because I never was, I mean, Disney's exhausting, don't get me wrong, but I never got to the point where we had to stop for Mom. I had to sit down. I couldn't do it. I was able to ride Tron, which is a roller coaster. It's like a bike that you sit on. When we went a few years ago, I couldn't do it. It wouldn't close. My legs wouldn't bend. My legs were very large. My legs would not bend for me to be able to get on this particular ride. And that was one of the saddest times on a vacation in my life, because I was embarrassed. I was embarrassed for my son. I couldn't do it. And I knew that as much as I was saying, like, my knee wouldn't bend, this or that, a larger portion was because my legs were so big, I couldn't bend them. I couldn't kneel down on the ground. My legs were so big. Around my knee area was so large. And that has just been unbelievable. I was able to kayak a couple of years ago, but at the end, when we would come back into the beach, I had to have assistance getting out of or I kind of had to roll and get up. I can get out of the kayak now. And I know some of these things sound so trivial, but if you know, you know. And I can do these things now. And it's been such an unbelievable experience to have these parts of your life back. So that was awesome. Which, staying in my summer era, we got our pool up finally, and I also shared that with you guys, and I did do some video on that. My husband did so much work to get that pool done. My gorgeous friends, Carl and Tina, gifted us this pool, and it was a feat to get done, let me tell you. But it was unbelievable. I loved having this pool. I was able to get out there and get exercise. I was able to relax. I had a place of solace all summer long. It was unbelievable. We didn't have the best summer weather-wise. It got cold very early on. So my pool summer was cut short, but I cannot wait for 2026 to open up the pool. That was like just the best, most unbelievable start to the summer. So that was amazing. When we went to Disney, not only did I walk the whole thing, I took so much less luggage because, as stupid as this sounds, my clothes were smaller. And I would always bring doubles or triples. Like, I would bring everything. I didn't have that much clothing, but I would bring extra because, number one, I would sweat through clothes a lot more. And number two, I never knew what I was going to be comfortable in because I was always trying to hide everything that I needed to make sure that I was fully covered. And, one day that might not be as comfortable if I had eaten too much the day before, or if I wasn't feeling good, or if my legs, whatever the case was, I just packed extra. I didn't have to do that this time. I packed such a smaller bag with so much less clothes, and I still didn't use everything. So that was wild. And the same thing on vacation. I was in a bathing suit and a dress a lot of the time. So it was awesome. It was awesome. I got to a size 10 at some point this year. I have never been a size 10 in my entire life. Never. I think maybe I've bought a 12. I don't really think I've ever bought a 10. If I did, I was probably like 19. But I started wearing a size 10. There's a good possibility that I might be a size 8, but I'm not going to lie. The thought of going to the store and trying on a size 8 and it not fitting me, I don't know if I can handle it right now, but we'll see. I might do like let's go to the store, let's go shopping and see what's what in the near future. I don't know. The world is, it's so open and it's so wide, and there's so many possibilities that I just felt like we're so closed off for so long. But that has been unbelievable. So I think that is pretty much my recap. Obviously, there was highs and lows, and I'm going to try to just keep this on a very positive note, and I'm not even going to dive into any of the lows. You guys have, if you've been with me or you've been following along for a bit, there has been a lot happening within my family and stuff like that. But all in all, as devastating as some of 2025 has been, it has been an unbelievable year filled with lost pounds, lost inches, self-regained self-confidence that I used to have. I really, truly used to have. I don't think I've ever told you guys this before, but way back when I was like 19, 20, 18, maybe even, I was a trophy girl at the racetrack that I film often. And I would go out there in my little short shorts and I would take pictures with the race car drivers that won their races. And I thought I was all that because I was cute and I was in like my little shorts. And at some point, life just changed and I became the background picture. I didn't want to be the center of anything. And I have regained just so much self-confidence in the past year. I am so thankful for this medication. I am so thankful. I say this all the time for the doctors, the scientists, Eli Lilly, Blue Cross for allowing me to stay on this medication, and especially for each and every one of you for allowing me to come here and share this journey with you, and for your love, support, and encouragement. It's been unbelievable. So before we stop blubbering again, thank you guys so very much. If you are new here, guys, 2026 is going to be unbelievable. There is so much in store. I am so excited for all to come. I'm excited to continue on this journey, to continue with each and every one of you, and to see where you guys get. So stay tuned. 2026, here we come. Until next year, my friends, remember, when you can't find the sunshine, you be the sunshine. Love you. Happy New Year.